everybody, one of Wiisdom here. I've been sitting on this screen for about 15 minutes now trying to figure out my strategy. Where we left off, we created Sergeant Rock, an Earth Element Bazooker. And just to be honest with you, my plan was to showcase, of course we're familiar with the Earth elemental upgrades, so I plan to showcase the Bazooker stuff, our weapon powers, our secret techniques. The fact of the matter is, in order to do that, I have to go get cash, and I would have to take the time to level him up. And the biggest thing for me is time. I've got to be up here in a couple hours, even though it's Saturday. And it's honestly just the way I prefer to do things is 2 characters at once. If I have to go grind the cash out, I prefer to do 2 for 1, save myself a little bit of time. And subsequently, I've elected to go ahead and create yet another Imaginator. And to progress as quick as possible, it would need to be 1, a brand new element of crystal, and 2, a brand new battle class that we've yet to create. So that's what I've been sitting here debating, right? I've got a lot of really good ideas for Halloween stuff, which will probably have to get going pretty quick. And I might, YouTube has gotten so terribly bad. I've kind of just played it down to 1 video a day. Skylanders still Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I might, particularly around Halloween, that's typically when we live stream stuff. I guess I could do it then too. We've historically always had a new Skylanders game out, and I just live stream spooky levels, the undead character upgrades, whatever it might be, right? So we could potentially do my Halloween plans, since we don't technically have the game to play through. There's not a new release, for example. There's no new undead characters. I guess we'll make our own. So it's not quite ideal, but I'll cover all that when we get to it. So what I was sitting here debating, I was thinking I've got 1 dark crystal, right, by way of the dark starter pack. I'm kind of drawn to Night, a Dark Knight. Spyro557 mentioned he made, I think, All Night, something like that. Play on words, which is stereotypical of Skylanders, actually. Obviously, having never made a Knight, I've also never made a Sorcerer. I've never made a Sentinel. It's kind of hard for me to know what would be ideal, with 1 crystal, so it might be something we have to reset. I don't know. Again, it's a shame you can't just reset the crystal in the game. Having to bust out the 3DS is kind of annoying, and not an option for many, many people. But I'm kind of leaning that direction, Knight, Sorcerer, Sentinel. And we've got, again, quite a few we've not taken a look at. We've got Reset Me, which he was a Life Element Quickshot. My plan all along was to make a banana Quickshot. I thought it was hilarious. The stream will not let me reset Me, who I specifically made as hideous as possible so I would not get attached to him. So I would be willing to reset him. And he's memorable because no one wants me to reset him. But I would have no qualms switching him over to the banana guy. But the stream would kill me, so Reset Me stays. And past that, we haven't really done a lot with him. I was just always planning to reset him, right? So he's got a ton of cash, he's leveled up a lot, but we've never really messed around much with his upgrades. So we've seen the life stuff, but we have not documented, fully explored the quick shot side of things, right? So I'm sitting here, and this was a character I wanted to create like around Christmas of last year, but I didn't make myself do it because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to document him at the time. And what this is going to allow me to do is twofold. Number 1, I'm going to create this character. It'll be a new element. It'll be a new battle class. And then that will open the way for my ideal... let me just say, I'm planning to make a Water Element Quickshot here. And then with my other water crystal, that will unlock the pirate set. And to me, water I associate with pirate. I associate that with a swashbuckler, which we have yet to explore. I do have another idea for a swashbuckler, but it will kind of hinge on how I feel about it. Like one of my undead crystals, I might, even though I don't like it as well as a different battle class, for what I plan to create. I might assign it Swashbuckler just to have some variance type of a thing. But I think what we're going to do now, and this one's really bland, it's to a T pretty much what they have, but I'll kind of tell you why I'm doing it as we create this character. So, shouldn't be quite as time intensive. I don't really think there's going to be much custom coloring I'll do or anything like that, but we have never put a water creation crystal down, so we'll unlock the pirate set. Let's go ahead and get that rolling now. Oh yeah, I should mention, I've got Wildstorm here. I was running through, I was half asleep when the video was rendering out, but I was just running through the Undead Realm for reasons really... Oh, I was trying to grind out the Imaginite pieces I want, right? And so I was thinking, hey, I'll get the 3 at the end type of a thing. And so I think... Oh, yeah, it was the time goal. That's exactly what it was. Okay, so, nope, wrong button. It's this one. This one? Yes, okay. So, right here, if we look at goals, the thing that I was missing was the speed run, right? We'd been through there a couple of times. I've never really focused on the speed run. I was just in there like, I want to grind this out as fast as I can, get as much Imaginite as possible. We nailed the speed run, so up top we will actually have a chest we can pick up for completing the 3rd star. So, you know what? Let's do that right now, actually. That would be a nice segue into this mess. So that's cool. I mean, we got that under the belt, and maybe I'll get some parts that I actually want, which could help set the stage for something else. But we'll see what we get. Epic, cool.
New ninja weapon.
Ah, Sheriff's Badge is plus 40 attack. I nearly made a ninja for this video, and then I thought, you know what? I need to know about the Swashbuckler ASAP. So, what I have planned for the Halloween stuff, I really want to know if I want to create a Swashbuckler. So, Ninja is coming. I mean, all of them are coming, but, this is sort of just me trying to progress quickly and intelligently, and most importantly, let myself know how best to proceed. So, what we're going to do now is throw down the water creation crystal and get cracking.
Welcome to the Creation Crystal Portal Master. Here you can create...
This actually looks really good in blue, I have to say. A dark blue. So,
choose a battle class. Each class uses a unique type of weapon.
Just off the top of my head with water, I mean, the thing I would think of the most, honestly, is Swashbuckler, right? I've kind of covered that. I don't know enough, like anything really, about Sorcerer or Sentinel, how the upgrades are. I can see that with water, but I would say Swashbuckler number 1. Number 2, Bazooker, just because I'm a kid that grew up with like Super Soakers and Crocodile Mile and Slip and Slide, all that good stuff. There was a ripoff. Crocodile Mile was kind of a ripoff of Super Slide, but it had like a crocodile and a pool, so it made sense. But then there was something that came right after Crocodile Mile, and it was like such a ripoff of Crocodile Mile. I haven't seen those in years. Like, when my nephew was growing up, I never remember, like, walking in a store and it being, like, Slip and Slide. They probably outlawed them or something. When I was a kid, you would take the Slip and Slide, and yeah, it was great on a flat surface, but it was way more fun if you went downhill. I remember a lot of times we'd actually have stuff set up. It was like the poor man Slip and Slide. You just go get, like, huge sheets of plastic, basically like tarps almost. And just like stake them down. It's real windy here, right? But you'd stake them down on hills and just kind of wet it down. And I don't know, man. It was just like hundreds of kids for, all the daylight hours, essentially. But they probably outlawed that stuff. I don't know. Swashbuckler to me is the cream of the crop here. Bazooker, I think, makes a ton of sense. For that very reason. Quickshot for the same reason. Squirt guns is my logic. I don't know if that's what you apply to it or not. So Swashbuckler, Bazooker, Quickshot. And then again, Sentinel, I don't know anything about, but I could see it. Same with Sorcerer. Brawler is somewhat intriguing, but not as much as the others, in my opinion. Nonetheless, this is the route we're going to take. This is kind of a predictable character, and it would have been way better had I done it at Christmas time when it was appropriate, but just bear with me.
Imaginators deliver justice over great distances with pinpoint precision. Are you ready to create a quick shot? Choosing a battle class is a final decision.
It totally shouldn't have been. That is one of the death nails of this game. Parents that went in and kind of got burned on the traps and trap team, and then we're like, are we going to be able to use those vehicles? You know? And the next game, this is one of those like slaps that you should be able to, you know, if you create a water quick shot and you hate it, you ought to be able to come into the same creation menu and switch it over. Why it wasn't like that, why it wasn't amended, why it wasn't modified, I will never know. Again, looking at it from the outside, someone just jumping in with Imaginators or familiar with the more recent games, Trap Team, Superchargers, etc., it's going to be viewed as just a huge cash grab, and it's very hard to claim it as anything other than that. But I really need the crystals to go on sale. I say we're going to reset a lot of these characters. I tend to like the ones I actually put time into, and when I do that, I don't want to delete them and reset the crystals. But at the same time, I don't want to go spend $10 a crystal. I feel like those things should be like $4.99, particularly at this point a year after. We're just past like a year of Imaginators. And I'm literally putting this water crystal I've had for 365 plus days onto the portal for the very first time. So let's not drag it out anymore.
A new quick shot is born.
Aha.
Bring your imagination to life.
Oh, those guns do not look good with what I have planned. We will have a pretty sweet gun, but hey, it's statistic time. So let me scroll way the heck down here. All right. Dun. Control C, and we'll skip what? 3. That's fine. So Water Element Quickshot. Makes sense to do a quick shot and a bazooka at the same time. So, I mean, these are the two characters I'll be going through getting the cash for, if you will. So, let's now... I'm going to copy this right here. And I promise I will release these spreadsheets not in the not too distant future. So, Water Quickshot Base Stats. Health we don't know yet because it's not on the screen for reasons unknown to me. We're gonna call this level attack is 6, armor is 4, speed pretty nice at 15, luck I believe that's the highest I've seen with an Imaginator base stats anyway, so that's kind of cool. But by the way, Sergeant Rock, I didn't officially name him. I just kind of titled it that, made a title slide, put it on the heading, called him that, and I only got compliments, so we're probably going to make that official. I've also got a name picked out for this guy, for better or for worse. So, why there's no option to just apply a set to just A, be done with it quickly because you like it, or B, know that, hey, I want the majority of these parts, I'm only going to switch 1 or 2. I don't know why that's not a thing. I really wish they'd come in and kind of update this. Reset the crystals, change the battle class, if you will, and then be like, boom, you know, quick apply type of thing. So, this is going to take a while, but let's see if we can't pull it off. So,
Lovely!
okay, that's a terrible voice, but... this is Mr. Frosty, and I'll tell you more about him as we go. It's not the Jack in the Box, man. You know, coal. Eyes of coal. Do we want to do that?
Alright!
Why are they whited out? That's kind of bothering me.
Cool!
I wonder what that would look like, actually. Ears... was there ears there? I can't remember. So chest. Aha, it's so conveniently located. I really want the black coal there, you know? Like it's bugging me. Please. Hey, this is maximum. I love the blue gloves though.
Happy to
Way
try
more
this out.
way more water element oriented. Legs, can we have another? Oh my, look at us. This is so convenient. I love it.
Fresh and new.
Look at us go. So, weapon. Now, here's the thing. We can't apply these now because it would radically change things. What is that one? Oh. You know what? Those don't look half bad with that, like, kind of candy-coated blue. Sort of like a Laffy Taffy blue. This will be our common one that we have to use, but I'm going to show you what he will get. It's right here. It's the ultimate ones. Why you can't preview them, I don't know. But I'm stoked. If I remember correctly, they're plus 60 attack, which is going to be pretty insane. But it's such a perfect setup for a Water Element Quickshot. And again, I'll tell you why. We've also got the classic snowman hat, so that's cool. I want this guy to be fairly tall. Let's go with that. Bigger head, maybe? Yeah, it snowed a lot. I see. It ain't bad. We'll run with that. So now this is where we've got to... Let's see what we can do just with this overall. So this honestly is not bad if I just went in and kind of changed the buttons and the eyes. That's literally the only thing that's bothering me right now. But we'll go from frozen stiff and check other things out. No. Seafoam? That does not look like seafoam. I guess it kind of does. My apologies. Oh. You know, I like that, but I don't like it. Ooh, that's not bad. Oh, now, look at that. Original colors is just so cool. But let's check this out again. Frozen stiff, if I modify that, I think it might be the color, the token. Oh, white lights. It's kind of ironic. These are going to look really weird as we cycle through here. Let's get to some of the SSA ones real quick. Custom is probably how we'll wind up. Oddly enough, that's not terrible. Jetvac Fan Club looks pretty good. You know, if you use your imagination, you know, on some of these. Darklight Crypt would be a serious contender if there wasn't, like, pastel pink there. Pirate Seas. The color is just wrong. Empire of Ice? No. Those were the two I was really interested in. Creepy Citadel, frickin'. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. So, Creepy Citadel right now is the leading candidate from that side. Let's run with this and maybe modify it. That's what I'm thinking. So, is this the nose? I'm thinking. What is this changing? I have zero clue what that is changing. Okay, let's just stick to what we know. So, the head. Uh-oh. Huh. Okay, work with me here. Okay, so that's our gloves and the boots. I feel like that's better suited for snow. Now, what is this? Aha, the nose. Is there not really a good orange, though? Okay, yeah. I feel like we've got to have the carrot nose color coordinated, man. I'm hoping this is the buttons and the eyes. Please be. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. What is that color above it, though? Like, what does that literally change? I wish that I could make the buttons black and the eyes blue, possibly. For now, we're going to rock that. What does this change? Like, what is changing here? I've got red selected. Is it his mouth? I don't think so. I have no clue what this changes, if anything. Keep in mind, I think he'll look a little bit better with a hat, too. Which I guess if it's luck, we could technically put it on. Okay, I honestly see nothing changing here. So, Let's just make it blue, and then we'll see if anything pops up that changes in the future. I think it's going to look good. So, let's... we probably don't want an aura. Star Child would be interesting. Electric is ironic. Yeah. I think we're going to roll standard here. Now, gear. Let's go ahead and take a look at the headgear. Where is the snowman hat? You know what? There's probably a lot of hats. It's not going to show us the preview anyway. Cool. Well, screw that then. Alright. I think there's a snowman backpack, though. Isn't there? I'm remembering that correctly, right? Yeah, right there, buddy. Yeah, so I don't know why you can't preview it. I understand not being able to put it on, but I feel like you should be able to preview it. So, anyway, we might outfit him with some of that stuff. Feel like we're good here. Kind of covered. I don't think... Yeah, none of that's going to matter. Alright, so what we want to do now is come to personality. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty, in addition to being a fantastic name for a snowman, I will tell you the significance of that as it pertains to my gaming history. I've mentioned this game before. Is there not a dot? No. Okay, well, hey, whatever. There was a once upon a time on my Sega Genesis, there was a little game. And it was sort of, this is when Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, you know, were super popular. And this game was a spin-off of those, and I absolutely loved it. And that game was Clay Fighter. And the leading, like the poster character for Clay Fighter was Mr. Frosty. He had a pretty cool, you should probably pull up some videos on it. It's a neat game.
Beautiful name.
Oh, we're changing that, by the way. But he had a pretty intimidating voice. I remember Helga. I remember the looks of a couple of others. I still have it on Sega. I could technically play it, I guess. But that's the inspiration here. It's Mr. Frosty from Clay Fighters. Now, he was what I would consider more of a brawler. But, you know, I've got brawlers covered here with things that I'm fine with. And personally, I think it's hilarious for a snowman to have guns. So that's what we're going to roll with.
Big guns.
Let's get the voice ironed out first.
Making a
splash with the big guns.
Ooh.
Making a splash with the big guns.
Making a splash with the big guns.
I kind of like the deep voice.
Making a splash with the big guns. Making a splash. Making a splash. Making a splash.
Making a splash. Making a splash with.
Making a splash with the big guns.
Something about the radio.
Splash.
Making a splash with the big guns.
Making a splash with the big guns. Making a splash with the big guns.
Man, we need that spooky voice real bad.
With the big gun. Making a splash with the
Making a splash.
Making a splash with the big guns.
Okay, so now do we want Drill Sergeant or Cool?
Making a splash with the big guns.
I think we gotta go Cool. I mean, it's not just because he's a snowman. It just, I think it fits better. So.
Rain down, haunted, haunted by rain. Making a oh hey, Portal Master, check out
Oh.
your you get the too cool for my blasters. Too cool.
It's gonna take a while, but we'll try to find a good one.
Too cool for the light.
Let's see. What can we do? You know, a snowman hat would, I mean, a Santa hat would look good here too.
Too cool for nothing. The password is get ready, unleash. Can you hear? No, behold, beware. I am.
There's nothing about snow or ice here, is there?
Forecast. The wind forecast calls for nothing.
Forecast calls for might be
Forecast call.
good. So, let's see what we can pair with that we kind of like.
Forecast calls for the big guns.
I think we found a winner, but I wanna double check. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything too sarcastic here that would be better than that. So, there it was.
Forecast calls for the big guns.
Oh yeah, the big guns from Mr. Frosty. One more time, buddy.
Forecast calls for the big guns.
I love the emphasis on big guns. It's almost like we got the big/drill sergeant vibe coming from it, even though we selected cool and radio. So, I'm fine with this. I think we did good. He looks like he's a happy little Imaginator, you know? And I'm fine with that. So here we go. I select none, of course, but this is fantastic to get a feel for the character. Oh, he's so cool. He is so cool. This is fantastic. Oh, stay frosty, my friend. You know what? That would be what we need. You know, the Dos Equis guy, the most interesting man in the world. We need the, like, stay frosty, my friends, to be the slogan. So, yeah, this is Mr. Frosty, and he has got moves like we had no idea. So, he's kind of got the same moves regardless of what we do, but still. So, one more time. You can't tell me you're not happy watching him dance, right? I mean, this is just a winner. This is an absolute winner. We nailed it with this guy. I'm pretty happy with what we've done here. I'm kind of salty that there's not a period that we can put behind Mr., but hey, a minor thing. So once again, we will be outfitting him with the candy cane pistols. We're going to stick the snowman hat, possibly a Santa hat if we decide to spice it up from time to time. But frickin' A, I think we did good with this guy. I'm really happy with it. So quickly, let's kind of preview these. We've got weapon power as marksman and wild style. Elemental power, this will be my first time getting to see these. We've got wave push. Press B to summon a tidal wave to keep your foes at bay. We've got bubble bounce. Press B to turn into a bubble and bounce around your enemies. Ice block. Press B to create a giant ice block. Press B again to push it. And Piranha Pets, press B to summon hungry. Okay, so given that he is a snowman, I'm inclined to lean towards Ice Block and Wave Push. The tidal wave doesn't make a ton of sense, but I mean, hey, it's water element. I'll run with it. Secret techniques. Here we go. So again, most people aren't going to have this when you come in on a virgin save file, but hey, we're weird and we have things structured, so we've got the higher end stuff unlocked and not the low end things. So gunslinging it, this is what we're going to get from, say, having another quick shot, right? Dr. Crankcase taught Mr. Frosty this move, if you will. Press Y for concentrated rapid fire in a single direction. This one, I believe, is when you defeat the Quickshot Doomlander, so hold Y to charge up a massive shot. That could be pretty cool for him. Blast Zone, press Y to create a danger zone where your enemies take more damage. And Death Blossom, press Y to spin around. I remember that from Reset Me. I'm not a huge fan. I'm kind of thinking Shard Shot might be what we wind up with for him. Gunslinging it, though, we'll have to see. Bounty Hunter right here. Right trigger to put a bounty on your enemies. We'll check all that out. But real quick, I guess we could showcase these, right? Just as well.
Forecast
Oh.
calls for the big guns.
I love it. It's awesome. It's... Oh, hey, and let's do this too. So this should be the pirate set, which again I will use to make a swashbuckler. Spoiler alert. You know what? We gotta pin this out too. So where do I want to put it? We'll just stick it over here. Water creation. No. Water Imaginite chest. So let's see here. We have got
New arms.
arms.
Found.
Aye, we apparently can't say Popeye. I understand Activision because YouTube is currently limiting everything I do too. After that, we've got common chest. I also was interested in this chest for another project, although it would work really well here for a pirate. You know, this is a common set, you know, since it's creation based, crystal based. I meant to say. That's a good one. Arg, me legs. Okay, cool. And then we're going to have the headgear. Ears.
Set complete.
Ears. Pirate head. Okay, so common, come on now. Common head, pirate head. Now, will we use this exact set? Possibly. Will we modify it a little bit? Maybe. It's just kind of going to depend. I love the eye patch, though. That might be a selling point. I do like the gray facial hair better than the white and blonde facial hair, which is probably intended to be the same, but it totally doesn't look that way. Maybe it's just the angle. I don't know. But let's actually come in, and I want to look at this. So where's my pirate set? Did they put it at the top now? Is that what they do? Man, this is taking up so much time that we don't need to do. I'd love to make a Yeti brawler for the water element. This right here is what we're gonna do, folks. So let me show you real quick. So we've equipped all this. The Jolly Top Hat plus 50 freaking luck. I do believe I'll equip that thing as soon as I can so I can get quick cash. Plus 60 attack, though, for those bad boys. And you can't tell me this is not going to make an epic water quick shot. Okay, so it's not at the top. Dun, 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 dun. Where are you, pirate man? I just want to know what the ears are called for my spreadsheet. Dun, 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 dun. The only bad thing about the Yeti brawler is it's like really akin to Slam Bam, which is awesome. I love Slam Bam. There you are, Mr. Pirate. Okay, so shiver me ears. Should have seen that one coming. Shiver me ears. No exclamation point. And then pirate head. That's all there is to it. So cool. That very well could be what we see for a swashbuckler. But it's back out of there. Oh, Mr. Frosty is such a bad man. I love this guy. He's fantastic. So let's quickly, and I do mean quickly, I'm just going to try to showcase these. So 13 to 20 from the primary attack. The secondary attack. Ooh, speed maneuver. You get mad speed out of this. I didn't think we would travel with the tidal wave. I thought it would just be like we stay stationary. I hope the mastered version of that is good because I love speed, I love dash attacks, and that would pair pretty dadgum good with a quick shot, I'm thinking. So, our tertiary attack, you should remember that type of a thing from Reset Me. Yeah.
Okay, maybe just a few tweaks.
Alright, so Wild Style we're going to showcase as the primary. We're going to do Bubble Bounce, which I don't know about that one. Then we're going to come in here and we'll do Charge Shot, which I think has a lot of potential. And that's about all we can showcase right now. So the primary attack, I've never been a huge fan of this one. You lose your, you almost go from like a ranged character to a, hey, I'm gonna punch you with my gun. You know, it does do more damage, but it's like you can't rapid fire it. I'm spamming it just as best I can here, and that's all we get from it. So I tend to prefer marksman. Secondary attack now is the bubble.
Oh, water rules!
If I let go of B last time, I'm holding it this time. So it will time out. We'll cover all of that in detail later. That's surprisingly more. I thought this would be one of those lame like 5 to 8 type of things. 45 to 68 is actually respectable now. The question is, are we immune to damage when we're in the bubble? I don't know the answer to that. I'll find out. Our tertiary attack, which I'm excited about. Oh. You don't have to hold Y.
Bring it in!
You can just tap Y. Oh, good lord. Yep, this is the keeper. I was correct. I'm going to hold Y this time. We can mega charge it. You don't aim very well, apparently. He looks so cool. Oh, snap, son. So, if I just tap Y, I'm doing nothing with Y. We clicked off something that did 287 critical. I'm holding Y down, and then it'll time out on its own. And we do 318. Standard, not critical. Half of 318 plus 318, that's going to be a lot. What would that be? 160 would be 320, so 159. 318 and 159 is going to be 467? No, 77. 477. I'll take that. I have zero complaints on that front. So, Mr. Frosty stepping up to the plate, delivering the goods, I've got to say. Once again, are you familiar with Clay Fighter? For most of you, particularly if you're younger, you're not going to have a freaking clue what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead here and type it in so you can have an idea of what time frame I'm talking about. I think there was a Clay Fighter 2 as well. It's a game that was never really remade that I'm aware of. So it's looking like the initial release was November 93. I was thinking 93. Oh, Blue Suede Goo, I remember him. Sweet. Okay. There was apparently a 98 release. Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Okay. Oh, there's a couple of characters here I don't remember. Oh, they had a Call of Putty game that was canceled for Wii. Oh, that would have been so good on the Wii. Clay Fighter 63.5 was on Nintendo 64. Judgment Clay was Clay Fighter 2. Why don't they talk about the Genesis here? That's kind of sad. I wonder what Clay Fighter 63.5 is like. That would be interesting to know. But yeah, it's Clay Fighter, man. It's fan-freaking-tastic. Very, very fond memories of that game. Again, I remembered Helga. Oh, Ichabod Clay was so cool, too. I'm not seeing the pictures. I'm just seeing the names here, and it's coming back to me. Blue Suede Goo, I definitely remember. The Blob, I remember. He was pretty OP. Ichabod Clay. Man, good times, good times. But yeah, pull up Clay Fighter, man, if you're curious about it. Again, most of what's coming up here initially on searches is SNES, and I played it on Genesis, so maybe there's some discrepancies there. But, man, it was a good game. I would love to see that thing on Steam. In fact, I think I've checked for it before. Might do that. If any, by chance, Clay Fighter people are watching, you know, like people that made the game, make it again. Make a new one. Put it on Steam. I'll play the crud out of it. It would be a fantastic game on the Switch, actually. So, but yeah, man, Mr. Frosty from Clay Fighter. What a character. That said, man, let me know your thoughts of our Mr. Frosty. Is this something that you think is cool? Do you think it's stupid? Are you sad that I used kind of a pre-existing set? Or are you like, hey, man, that makes perfect sense with what you're going for there? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll kind of take it from there. It was bad, Mr. Frosty, I think, technically, but hey. Anyway, fantastic freaking game. I don't know if anyone's even uploaded that to YouTube. I assume someone would have done it. But again, man, if that was out right now, I would be playing that bad boy. Mr. Frosty, though, that we've made, I'm pretty big fan. I think he's going to turn out to be pretty cool. No pun intended. I guess pun is intended. What am I saying? But, again, I had plans to make this guy as long ago as Christmas of last year. So, again, the only thing that held me back was, like, I'm not sure if I had the parts at the time, honestly. But the other thing is I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do the Imaginators, so on and so forth. But, hey. That said, one of Wiisdom signing off here. We created Mr. Frosty. What I'm going to be doing off camera, I will be taking Mr. Frosty and Sergeant Rock, getting them some cash so we can explore their upgrades. We'll come in with our level 5 baselines on everything. We'll showcase the bazooka stuff first. Then we'll come in here. We'll probably showcase the quick shot attacks. Then I'm going to do the water element stuff, which is pretty exciting in my opinion. And we'll just take it from there. So like I said, tentative plans, if I don't have if I don't cram in a bunch of Skylander videos, we'll probably stream some pretty cool Halloween creations I have in mind. I might have to pick up another crystal or two. Hopefully there will be a sale or something, I don't know. But nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts here. Sorry the video was a little longer than I thought it would be, but hey, I had a good time. I hope you did too. 2:32 in the morning. I'm going to call it a night. Gotta get this thing edited, rendered, and uploading so you can see it later today. By the way, you can see the test streams I did from the new computer to Twitch on Twitch, and I went ahead, I exported both of them, which worked fine. Sometimes Twitch has issues with that, but I exported both. I released them as my Friday videos. So there's like an 8-minute non-commentated Minecraft video where I was just waiting for something terrible to happen, and then there's like one round of Shotgun Farmers. Again, that was the new PC I hand built streaming, and it did, I'd say, fairly well. Neither one of those games is necessarily the most graphically intense thing you're going to come across, but I typically record those in 1080, right? Like super HD, crystal clarity, high-end, everything you'd ever want short of 4K. I cannot stream in 1080. I can't stream in 720. It's probably going to be more like 640. If you watch my Skylander streams on YouTube or Twitch, it's going to be in that quality a lot of the time. And I didn't know if that would turn people off or you could care less. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. Let me know what you think of the quality. And that said, for myself and Mr. Frosty, I gotta go get some cash, grind out some levels, and I'll see you back here for the next installment of Skylanders Research. Adios.